Hey friends, my name is Brooke McLaughlin and I'm your co-author of Hope for the Weary Mom, Let God Meet You in the Mess. And I just want to take a second to welcome you officially to our book study. We are so excited to have you with us. Today, as we start our time together studying this book, I want to ask you just one question. What is your greatest weakness? Now, you might have laughed when you read the first 3 words of chapter 1. In fact, they're the first 3 words of the whole book, right? I sometimes really just still can't believe that we started an entire book with the words beer and cigarettes when Stacy and I don't even really drink or smoke. It's really odd and sometimes embarrassing, but it's the truth of what was happening in my life at that time. And if you've read the story in chapter 1, you know that whether or not I drink or smoke really wasn't the point. The point is that I was so desperate for change that in that moment I wanted to. Everywhere I looked, I saw a big mess. My home was a mess. My life was a mess. Everything was a mess. And I wanted anything to come and take me away from where I was, who I was, and what was happening in my life. I like to call it my mommy moment. That space and time where my personal inadequacies and failures became too much for me to handle alone. For me, motherhood was and is my greatest weakness. And my mommy moment found me crying out on my front porch, asking for something that was way out of character for me. And I would like you to know that we all have the mommy moment. Maybe yours was last year. Maybe you're having it right now. Or maybe it happened just a few minutes before you pushed play on this video. Maybe yours is yet to come. And friend, I can tell you, you're not going to like it. You're going to feel like a failure. And you may even do something really crazy and out of character, like call your husband and ask him to bring you beer and cigarettes. But I want to encourage you not to miss it, because it's one of the best moments of your life. Now you must be asking yourself, what in the world is she talking about? How can my low point, how can that worst place in my life end up being the best place of my life? It's because the place of our greatest weakness can unleash the power of God's greatest grace. In the midst of my mommy moment, I felt completely beat down and overwhelmed by my weaknesses. I wanted to hide them. I wanted to pull the curtains closed on my home so that no one could see how bad it really was. And I had been trying hard for some time to do just that. But the beauty of that moment was my realization that I didn't have what it took to be a good mom apart from God's help. And friend, when we make that realization, when the light bulb goes off in our head and in our hearts, it sets God free to do something amazing in our lives. Instead of being controlled by our weaknesses, we can learn to use them to glorify God. If you haven't already, go back and read chapter 1 of Hope for the Weary Mom. And inside, you will learn exactly how God faithfully accomplished this in my life and how He can in yours too. See you next time.